Cody Rhodes, I have officially turned on Cody, and I'm explaining why. I was a big supporter of Cody for many, many years because Cody Rhodes uh, has displayed character work for so many years, and I respect people that can show that many levels of talents. Good, bad, humiliating, didn't matter. It showed that he could step in so many pockets within himself. So that's what always made me support Cody Rhodes. Even when he became champion, I was a big supporter of it because I'm like, he's a guy from that class, 2009, 2008, that deserves it because he worked hard to get where he's at now. It's not like it was just handed to him. And as a talent, I think Cody is still great as a talent. I have turned on Cody in kayfabe. No different than when I turned on John Cena back in the day. And I turned on John Cena back in the day because he was pandery, he was political, not the backstage political. He just felt like a over-the-top political, always got to say everything right. You know what I'm saying? He was just too good of a good guy where it was phony. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it definitely after the PG era, he just came so much less cool, less edgy, and just over the top baby kissing. He just was sickening. And no fault of his own, really. He was over forced like no one before him. He was the first of his kind to be forced down our throats, whether we liked him or not. So that's what made me turn on Cody. That's what not Cody, John Cena. That's what made a lot of us back in the day turn on John Cena. Those reasons alone. People may have others. It wasn't the fact he sucked in the ring, sucked in the mic. It was none of that. He was a forced, propagated manufacturer. The first over-the-top manufacturer. Not the first, because, of course, you had Hogan's and you had some, put it like this, every top guy is manufactured. Let's just throw that out the way. I mean, of course, this is a manufactured business. This is a factory. It keeps going, right? Whatever product is selling the most, that's what you want to sell. That's what you want to create the most. If Pepsi is selling, you want to have the most Pepsi in stock, right? Okay. With that being said, though, Cody and John Cena comparisons will be put in this mixture, of course, because Cody is quote-unquote the new John Cena. Except in this case, Cody is being forced on us now, but Cody rise to the championship was a lot more organic than John Cena's, to be fair. He actually came back and didn't get the red carpet. He left on a bad term. He didn't leave like if John Cena would have left. John Cena would have came back with open arms. This isn't the same scenario with Cody. Cody came back and had to work another 2 years just to become champion again. But now, let me get back to why I have turned on Cody. In kayfabe, Cody is easily. And I have to say, in my recent memory of watching professional wrestling for 20 plus years, he is the most pansiest, sissified, political, over-the-top sweetie I have ever seen as a babyface I can think of. Even John Cena in his prime years was never this much of a pansy. Never this much of a pansy. I just didn't like Cena because he was forced on us. But far as the character Cena was way more cooler than Cody ever could imagine. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. It's the thing that everybody's clamoring over and everybody's glazing. Which you can have your arguments, you can have however you want. It's all subjective. What you think of the John Cena heel promo, the John Cena heel turn. The whole story with John Cena and Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania 41. There's no way in the world John Cena back in his day would have been humiliated like Cody Rhodes. And not even just the Elimination Chamber attack. Let me even go on humiliation that happened even before that. January 6th. Now, really no fault of Cody's. The Rock just buried Cody as well. I mean, WWE just buried Cody, buried everything we thought what was happening before January 6th, right? So not only they humiliated Cody by having him in the crowd looking like a fucking idiot, you're the WWE champion, you're not even important enough to be on the show, the big show. But to be fair, he's a SmackDown champion, fine, but you couldn't be somewhere in the VIP Raptors to look important? But I guess, he's a people's champ. Okay, so let's be fair. Let me not pet peeve. Let me not overpick. Okay, fine. He was in the crowd. But for some odd reason, him and The Rock are buddies. They're okay. They're shaking hands. They're in the back. They're having drinks. Completely just saying kayfabe didn't exist last year. Fine. Okay. Just to fast forward, The Rock tells Cody, hey, I want your soul. This is Wishmaster Part 10. So I want your soul, Cody. And he caresses him on his face like a little boy. Mind you, Cody's like 40 years old, not 20. So that's already odd within itself to be little boying Cody Rhodes like that. But I understand. I guess he looked up to The Rock. Yeah, okay. Big brother-like situation. Fine. Maybe I'm still picking. Fast forward. Go fuck yourself, Rock. Cool. He gets humiliated. I mean humiliated. Low blow, beat down with the title. The Ethiopian Travis Scott comes in, busts his eardrum, black his eye. They beat him with the belt, leave him bloody. You name it. Now we got to wait a couple weeks. Cody comes out there, maybe a week later. He's a little mad. All right. Another week, he's a little madder. Okay. Still talking. Cool. I was letting that slide. But then the week before, what was that? Last SmackDown before this Monday, I believe? He beats The Miz up. Which I was like, okay. This is a pissed off Cody, which he should be. Cool. Now John Cena's in the ring. And John Cena says, the fans don't appreciate me. And you've been awful. No mentions of Cody Rhodes, no mentions of the WWE Championship. I already got a video on that. I'm not dwelling on that specifically, but I'm making an overall point. But guess what? John Cena gets cut off by Cody. And guess what Cody Rhodes does? Whoa! Smiling and, oh yeah. You hear him, gesturing. What? Basically, what is this? Before he said what he said to John Cena, basically, who is this guy in the ring, right? What is this? That's what you can see him mouthing off to that before he got to the ring after pandering and TKO, right? TKO says, that's your cue. You got to say whoa every time, even though you've been humiliated before that. But you got to make sure you do the cue every trip. No matter what you're going through, show no emotions, show no spirit. Just go out there and whoa, because that's your cue. It's over, right? Okay. No security. Absolutely nothing surrounding the ring. All space and opportunity. And guess what Cody wants to do? Be a fucking counselor. So he was trying to tell John Cena, in hindsight, cheer up, buddy. I want you to be the real you. I want you to be yourself, even though you beat the hell out of me. You beat my ass in front of my mother. I got a whole daughter at home. I got a whole wife at home that I had to go home to with a black eye, busted eardrum. But the man that broke into my house, humiliated me, violated me, guess what I'm going to do when I see him? I'm going to tell him to cheer up and say basically, hey, I want the real you. I want the 100% you. Not this pandery, whiny bitch. And all I could do is just scratch my head until I made a damn scab in my head. Because I was just beyond confused. I can't remember not one babyface in history that would see the guy that did that to him and do nothing to him. But you want to talk. But mind you, I'm going to show you the illogicness of wrestling today. Why is no motion, there's no soul, there's nothing about wrestling anymore that as we knew it. Because this is the TKO now. This isn't even WWE, this is TKO. How do you explain Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair having 30 grown-ass men trying to break up these little bitty-ass women fighting each other, but there was not one security guard in sight with actual tension with grown men? How do you logically put those two together? When in real life, we like to expand disbelief in professional wrestling, right? Everybody wants it to be so real, right? Okay. So, in real life, in a real fight, let's say Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte really got in a fight. It would literally take two guys to break them up. One, really, most of the time, but two guys to be fair, right? But it took 30. But for some odd reason, this is the guy that got humiliated and beat the shit out of. His championship is even at threat. His championship is even on the line, is being threatened with. Your manhood was basically taken in front of everybody. Whipped like a fucking child. And you want to go out there and fucking talk? Can you name me a babyface that ever would have did that? Hogan was the master class of pander, like over the top, take your vitamins. You know, he was the 80s, right? Where he was super duper good guy. Bret Hart, super duper good guy. Bret Hart really believed it, unlike Hogan. Hogan was just acting. Bret Hart really believed the patriotic, super role model guy, right? But there's no fucking way in the world you would have did that to Bret Hart and he wouldn't have did shit. There's no way you would have did that to Hogan and he wouldn't have did shit. Everyone is missing the point. This buried Cody in kayfabe as a man. He is the men's WWE champion, right? That means you are the top of the you are on top of the upper echelon. You are the man of men, right? Remember Stone Cold said, if you don't want to be world champion, then get the hell out. That meant you are willing to step on everybody else to be the guy in kayfabe, right? Where is this man's balls? Can you examine him? Does he have balls? Do he? I'm talking in kayfabe for all the sensitive weirdos in the back that takes this so seriously. I'm speaking in kayfabe. Cody is the most sissy, pandery weirdo I've ever seen as a WWE champ I can remember. This is not a man. How you got a wife and kid and you okay with them letting you see you like that? As a man, that don't hurt your pride. I'm talking in kayfabe. As a man, that don't hurt your pride. To do nothing? That's what made me turn on Cody. Get the title off this fucking sissy, bro. If you're offended by me saying sissy, then I'm talking about you, I guess. Get the title off this dude. Please. If he beats Cena, this is the beginning of the fucking end forever. I cannot take Cody seriously after that. I remember Cody being a bad guy, vicious. I remember all this shit. And we come from all that to this. I remember Cody was known for just snapping on niggas back in the day. We go from that, from this. You come out there in a 3-piece suit, smiling ear to ear. And these niggas just bust your eye up. You got the nerve to be smiling and woeing. They buried Cody. I don't care if the fans fuck with Cody and, oh, they still over with. I don't care. That's cool. But it's just a matter of time. And it might not. Because we're in a new culture. Maybe the culture has outgrew me. And I just got to realize that. This is a weird, sensitive, pandering, liberal culture today. Where everything, you just turn the other cheek bullshit. This is professional fucking wrestling where masculinity is at its highest. At least I thought it was. This is not wrestling. This is TKO. Low levels of testosterone. Masculinity is a problem. Turn the other cheek to your enemy. Where's the revenge? He don't want no revenge for this. And don't give me this, maybe the next week he might attack Cena. Now, you should have been attacked him. It should have been security all over that fucking arena. But Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte is more of a threat to each other than you two? How do you make that make sense? There's no logic in wrestling anymore. There's no psychology in wrestling anymore. There's no emotion in wrestling anymore. There's no soul in wrestling anymore. How do you, in kayfabe, how are you the son of a plumber? The guy that was personification of soul. You think Dusty Rhodes would have let that shit happen? What type of pussy are you? You think Goldust would have let that happen? Fuck out of here, bro. Get this bitch-ass dude away from the men's championship. He should be the women's champion. But I can't even say that. Rhea's tougher than him. Everybody on this roster is tougher than this dude. I can't take Cody serious ever, ever again. I can't take him serious. His man points are completely invalid. He is the biggest pandering pussy I have ever seen in wrestling possible history, bro. I ain't never seen nobody get bitched out like this. Like, share, subscribe, dislike, all the good shit. We are out. Cody sucks.